Hi everyone, we are continuing to look at the topic of freedom and what that means for us. So where do many people find freedom? In church? Do you expect to find freedom in church? Several years ago, when we first went to another church, we were asked to move seats because we were sitting in the place where someone else always sat. The church was pretty empty at the time. And we had to do things in a certain way and at the right time. But of course, we were free to go there and are free to worship wherever we want to in this country. Not everyone has that freedom. But there are different kinds of freedom, aren't there? And freedom can be in how you view things and how you react to events. And maybe there are different levels of freedom and different types of tyranny. Was Jesus free? Even when he was being tortured and crucified? He spoke his mind and he spoke about truth and he laid his life down freely for us. And now there is a new covenant. And in 2 Corinthians, Paul talks about this new covenant and compares it with the old covenant given by God to Moses. 2 Corinthians 3, verses 7 to 18. Now, if the ministry that brought death, which was engraved in letters on stone, came with glory, so that the Israelites could not look steadily at the face of Moses because of its glory, fading though it was, will not the ministry of the Spirit be even more glorious? If the ministry that condemns men is glorious, how much more glorious is the ministry that brings righteousness? For what was glorious has no glory now in comparison with the surpassing glory. And if what was fading away came with glory, how much greater is the glory of that which lasts? Therefore, since we have such a hope, we are very bold. We are not like Moses, who would put a veil over his face to keep the Israelites from gazing at it, while the radiance was fading away. But their minds were made dull, for to this day the same veil remains when the old covenant is read. It has not been removed, because only in Christ is it taken away. Even to this day, when Moses is read, a veil covers their hearts. But whenever anyone turns to the Lord, the veil is taken away. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And we who with unveiled faces all reflect the Lord's glory are being transformed into his likeness with ever increasing glory which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. The old covenant was so holy that Moses placed a veil over his face. But Paul says, how much more reverence and glory is found in the life and death and resurrection of Jesus, who takes the veil away so that we can see God face to face. And he tells us that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Through faith and power of the Spirit, the veil is removed and God's glory is revealed in the person of Jesus. In John 4, Jesus says that God is spirit, and those who worship must worship in spirit and in truth. And Jesus gives us the freedom to do this. And in John 8 he says, if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. So I hope you enjoyed the freedom that Jesus gives us, along with the responsibility that always goes alongside. So have a lovely day. Bye for now.